was thinking it would be fun to close out the month. By the time I'm taping this, it's the end of August, okay? 2025. But I thought it'd be fun to do a read it or toss it video. I have about 63 books here to go through. Roll the tape. So as you can see, we've been getting it done, okay? A lot of these books I read this year, some I already had on my bookshelf. Now, if you're a booktuber, I challenge all my booktubers, book lovers. If you have a YouTube or a TikTok, I challenge you to do the read it or toss it challenge either by the end of this week or upload it in the beginning of September. Tag me in it because I would love to watch. Y'all know I love watching your videos, and I would love to also share it. So if you're up for the challenge, okay, go ahead and do it because I want to see what all the books you have at one time. I love those videos where I can see a whole bunch of recommendations or not all at one time. Okay, so let's get into it. So if you are new here, my name is Darnaya Darice, first name, middle name. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll try to keep it short. I say that every time. I'll try to keep it short for y'all. But please note, all these books that are here does not include my August TBR, what I'm reading in August. I'm going to save that for a separate wrap-up video, so stay tuned for my August wrap-up video. Also, the ones that I personally say toss, guys, is not mean don't read it. It means the toss it's either a complete no for me, or it was like I gotta circle back around to it. I need to reread it because the first time I really didn't vibe with it. I didn't like it. I wasn't interested. The story didn't grab me, or I was upset with something that happened. It's like that, okay? So the toss-its don't necessarily mean don't buy it all. It just means maybe you need to read it for me, reread it for me, or read it if you already have it and let me know what's your take on it, okay? The read-its are my absolutes. These are I rated 3 to 5 stars at some point, and they are reads that are necessary for productivity, or they are romance reads that are good for entertainment, love, or give you some type of inspo or encouragement to move past grief, healing, so forth and so forth. I have some thrillers and historical fiction. So let's get into it. The Girl on the Train. I don't know if y'all remember this, by Paula Hawkins. This is a toss it for me, okay? It's not a must read. Let me know if you read Girl on the Train. Do you remember when this came out? And before I read it, I was like, is the girl gonna get off the train? Like, why are you stalking people? The main character, I believe her name was Rachel in this. She was kind of a stalker, even though she had her own things going on, and then the realizations of what really happened, what was going on with her ex-husband. It is like, oh, okay, it gets juicy, but for a while you're gonna follow her just being kind of creepy and stalkerish, okay? But it's not a must read. It's not a must read. It's not a neat reread. So toss it. Now, just know I have cushion on that side of the room, so I'm not throwing people's books and messing up their books. That's a little rude. Don't be rude. That's why we didn't name it Read It or Trash It, okay? Don't be rude with the authors. They took their time to write this. I'm still going to keep the books, but it's not one, that must read. Walter Mosley, Trouble Is What I Do. This is the first book that I got from Walter Mosley, and I will be reading more of his work at some point. This is a very short read regarding a detective that we follow. What was his name? McGill. This story, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, oh, I need to read more. It's very short, and it mostly reads like a short novella, if you will. It was kind of interesting, but it just didn't give enough where I'm like, I think it was a full story, a full book, and I believe he has a lot in the series, or in his books that he write about the detectives, but I just like wanted more, it wasn't full enough for me, even as a short book. And so it's not a must. So that's why I say toss it, okay? But we love Walter Mosley. All right, Rage of Dragons. This is a fantasy read by Evan Winter. Love the interviews with Evan people have talked about it. If you watch Smitty 1423, different people on Book Talk who are fantasy readers. But I would say read it if you are a fantasy reader. Okay, read it if you are a fantasy reader. If not, I wouldn't say this will be the first one you can jump into. This is book 1, a part of a series. There is a book 2 out, and I think it's called Fires of Vengeance. But I wouldn't say start with this one, but it's still a read it. Okay, but for me, If You Stayed by Brittany Cherry. This was my first Brittany Cherry. Can you believe it? This is my first Brittany Cherry book. I enjoyed this read. It's a cute read. It's not all the way necessarily realistic, but it's not a bad read. I would say if you're first getting into Brittany Cherry, you never read anything by her, I would suggest reading this one, because I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this book. Okay, it was a soft place to land for readers out of, if you're in a reading slump, that sort of thing. So I would say read it. When You're Mine, Kennedy. I normally love Kennedy Ryan's books. I want her to still read her backlog, but this was not my favorite. This is book 1 to the Bennett series. Okay, it's book 1. I did not enjoy it. Toss it. The Love Lyric. The Love Lyric is book 3, and I might as well do book 2. The Partner, Plot, and Love Lyric. These are book 2 and 3 to the Green Sister series. I would say this is by Christina Forrest. This is an in-between. It's a toss it. These are toss its. If you like more in-depth reading, like if you like the Scotland series and things like that, it's not up to that level, but it's in between a reading and toss it. Okay, you can go either way with that. The Personal Librarian, historical fiction. Although I feel like this had some great information in this book, this also came out this year, is, I would say, again, another in-between. Read or toss it. I did not enjoy the choices the mother and the daughter made in this book. While the father was looking to actively bring change, and change doesn't happen until we as a people together more participate in contributing to change and standing up for ourselves. So I didn't quite like that. However, I understood the choices as a mother, why certain moves the mother made in this book. But the characters in this book are real people. You can look them up. I read information about Richard Green, who was the father in this book, and Richard Theodore. It's either Green or Green, I always forget, but he was the first Black graduate of Harvard, period. This is before W.B. Du Bois got a PhD from Harvard. He was the first, period, to get a degree in just in general. So it was good to learn more about him. So this is a in between, toss it or read it. To Toni Morrison, y'all know. Y'all know everybody will tell you to read it. For me, it's a you're not gonna like me. It's a toss it, okay? The Blue Side I read all the way through. I DNF Sula halfway in. Oh my gosh, like these are hard to read. It is complex writing because the lingo, the dialect in here is not in your modern dialect, so you really have to take your time to read. But the themes and premises that are in here are topics that need to be talked about, needs to be studied. We need to find ways to healthily to improve mental health as a people, to improve and move past and better our issues and things of that nature. And so these, I will put them read it or toss it. You just have to be in a mood to read classics in that regard and to really understand. No disrespect, I just featured this in the recent video by Sister Soldier. This is not a must read. It's a toss it for me. If you read it, you can kind of understand. I think it was good for the 90s, I guess, when it came out. I know someone else was saying if you read Sister Soldier early, like I think she has another book, and it was like if you read it when you're a teenager, it may have been good to you. But no, toss it. Long Shot, and I'm gonna do 2 of these. This is Long Shot and Hook Shot. This is Kennedy Ryan, of course, the Hoop series. This is book 1, book 3. Must read. Read it. It was great. If you love romance, you'll love that. And speaking of Kenya Ryan, she just has so many great books. Are you with me? Are you with me? Okay. But this is the Skyland series. Before I Let Go, book 1. This Could Be Us, book 2. And Can't Get Enough, book 3. Can't Get Enough came out this year. And I believe This Could Be Us came out last year. All of them. Read it. You know, you may not agree. It's okay. But it's a read it, okay? Real by Kenya Ryan. Most of her books, they're just good. Her most recent books within the last few years, they're great. This was a 5-star. Read it, absolutely. We don't even need to go in there because y'all seen it, okay? All right, now I bought this year from Amazon, The World as I See It. This is a book on Albert Einstein. It's kind of similar to the I, Steve book that I have on Steve Jobs. It's like you get his thoughts in here. You get some of his writings in here. It's not a must read. It's a toss it for that one. All right, so the Housemaid series, Frida McFadden. If you love psychological thrillers, Frida is your place to go. She will get you out of reading slump, but book 2 and 3, or book 2 and 3 in the Housemaid series. This is The Housemaid Secret, and this is The Housemaid is Watching. They're not must reads. It's a toss. Okay, let me go. All right, I got a lot more. We're getting through, y'all. Hang on in there, okay? Hang on in there, because you might see something you like. I don't know if you ever heard of this. This featured in one of my earlier videos, and this book is actually about my husband's Memphis, The Last Supper. It is a thick novel. It's almost reads like fantasy world building, but it's sci-fi. It's not fantasy. If you like Black family drama, but that leads to progression, that leads to a winning team, like Black people winning, taking over territory, is good. That this is the book for you. It's available on Amazon, and it's One Family Under Fire. This cover is fire, though. This cover is fire. Read it, of course. Pardon My Frenchie. This is a romance. This was my first Farrah Rashan book. It was okay. I didn't really enjoy it. It's not a must read, so I say toss it. Next to The Mixtape by Brittany Cherry and Blockshot. This is book 2 in the Hoop series. I said read book 1 and 3. You can toss book 2. I wasn't into it, okay? The Mixtape, I had high hopes for this. I just couldn't get with it. I didn't enjoy it. It was so like over the top, unrealistic. I'm like, that's a lot of it was wishful thinking, so I didn't like it. Now, you may not like me on this one. Atmosphere. This is a new release by Taylor Jenkins Reid. We love Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. She writes so well. She knows how to write a story. And again, this is a great story. She knows how to write. This is an in-between to toss it or read it for me. David Coates. Don't know if you heard of him. He writes some thick books. He's like another James Patterson, David Baldacci. They write a lot. Same with Dean Koontz. And this is One Door Away from Heaven. This is a toss it for me. All right, so let's go. We're making it through. I thank you for tuning in. Well, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know any of these that you read. Let me know your star ratings for it and your thoughts. 12-week year. The 12-week year. Excuse me. This is good for productivity. If you're looking to be productive and be the best you can, remember, you don't have to wait to the beginning of the year or the end of the year to do reflections, resets. You can do it anytime you get the inclination or the drive, desire to do it. This, I would say, read it. You see all the tabs I got. Now, I stopped doing the outside tabs because it just looks sloppy. So I do now tab via the inside instead of poking them out. The Three Mothers, how the mothers of Martin Luther King Jr., James Baldwin, and Malcolm X shaped the nation. This is by Anna Malika Tubbs. This is a definite reading. It's just necessary. It's a nonfiction read, and it goes, you get more insight into the mothers of some of our leaders and what they contributed, and how you will see how their sons get their knowledge, their drive, and inspiration to better to fight for the advancement of people in general from here. All right, Christopher Columbus and the African Holocaust, slavery, and the rise of European capitalism. Not too many people talk about him. This is Dr. John Henry Clark, and yes, he is okay. Dr. John Henry Clark had an interesting story, interesting life. He actually, I don't even believe he graduated high school, but he studied history, sociology, religion. He did a lot of work. He is, in all accounts, another activist, and he ended up being a college professor, a speaker, orator, and he's just one that we cannot forget. He was in connection with Malcolm X and a lot of our other leaders, and he should not be forgotten. He has multiple works. This is short, but this goes over to specifically explain the in-depth atrocities that was done in the time, in the connection of slavery, and moving on past that, and how it continued in different ways. So that is a must read. This is nonfiction. These are for people who love to learn, and not just love to learn. You need to learn, whether you love it or not. It is helpful to understand more of your history, because it's up to us to preserve it, not anyone else. It's up to us to teach our children and not anyone else. Okay, all right, it's gone. Okay, moving on. Maya Angelou. Really, all her books are readers. Okay, but wouldn't take nothing for my journey now. Ladies, read that. Okay, read that. Now, the few here. Arjun and Bash are just friends. Obviously, I read this last month. This was my second Tia Williams read. She's a new author to me. This is a toss it if you're an adult. YA is pretty good. It's not a bad read. So it's in between. Read or toss it. It's just, if you don't mind the YA, that's fine. But if you read her other work, you'll see the difference. But Freida McFadden, Perfect Son, it's great to get you out of slump, but it's not a must read, so we're tossing it. Only for a week. I know you hear a lot of people saying, go ahead and read this by Natasha Bishop. This was my first book by Natasha. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're in a romance, spicy romance mood, and that's all you're looking for, this is it. I did enjoy that she made the characters somewhat intelligent, coming from an intelligent background, entrepreneurship, that sort of thing. But it's not a must read. This was nowhere near a 4 or 5 star for me, but it's in between the read it or tosses. Okay. All right, we're getting through. Neighbor Favorite, first book in the Green Sister series. Read it. 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. Read it, absolutely. This was my first book last month by Tia Williams. Remember the second I said is the YA. It's like the backup. It's the continuation of this, but from the daughter's perspective point of view. This was such an excellent read. It's up there with Razor Blade Tears to me. Carrie Soda is back. Taylor Jenkins Reid. Pretty good read about a Ton's Pay. I said read it. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is my first read by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Absolutely 5 star. This was an excellent story, well written, so detailed, no fluff. Read it. Ooh. All right. I might need some water. Why didn't I bring any water? Okay. Never Lie. Freida McFadden. This was this my first? I think I started with Never Lie, and I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I would say read it. The Housemaid. This is book 1 to the Housemaid series. Remember the other 2? I was like, you can toss it. This one, read it. Razor Blade Tears. Of course, when we're talking about S.A. Cosby, anything he writes will be a read it. This was my absolute favorite. It is still in the top 5. It is top 1. That and 7 Days of June and Real are my top books of the year. But this is topping everybody. This was such a great read. Read it. Must read. Read it. Reread it. S.A. Cosby. All the Sin and Bleed. Read it. If you love thrillers. My Darkest Period. This book was hilarious. This is, of course, a read it. Now, I haven't read Blacktop Wasteland, but stay tuned for my TBRs coming up in the fall because I plan to read it. The Reformatory. 5 star. Absolutely. You can see I tabbed. This was such a great read. This is this will fall under horror, I believe. It's sort of kind of historical fiction. It falls in a few categories. This is unfortunately based on true events that have happened throughout over time in the state of Florida when it comes to the reformatory and black boys and other boys as well. Read it. Whew. Y'all, this might be over 20 minutes. All right, anyway. James Baldwin, Go Tell Him I Said. Okay, anything James read is a read it. I want to say you pronounce it Chinua Achebe. That's Things Fall Apart. Read it. This may have been on your high school reading list at some point. Read it. Of Course, Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. Read it. Good Company by Cynthia. I'm adding sounds to their names, y'all. Good Company by Cynthia D. Sweeney. This was my first book by her. Got it in Dollar General. As you can see, it's a hard copy. It was only $5 earlier this year. I gave it like a 4-star. This was pretty good. I would say read it if you're looking for new authors. All right. Relentless, From Good to Great to Unstoppable by Tim S. Grover. This is a read it. Again, another productivity book. If you're looking for motivation, if you're looking for that push, that coach, he gonna get you right. He don't play any games, okay? Read it. Getting into some investigative thrillers here. This is Lauren Nauset. I don't know if you heard of her, but this is The Resemblance. This is book 1 to the Detective Marlett series. This was pretty good. I would say read it. It's in between a read it and toss it. But book 2 in that series is The Professor. I've seen a lot of people have The Professor and didn't have book 1. Okay, so get book 1 and 2. But book 2, I would say read it. Book 1 is, again, in between read it or toss it. S.A. Cosby. This just came out this year, King of Ashes. I was up and down with this one. It's not necessarily, I would say read it, but I wouldn't say read this first. If you're just now getting into S.A. Cosby, don't read this one first. Go back and read Razor Blade Tears, All the Sinners Bleed, My Darkest Prayer, because that's a short read, Blacktop Wasteland, and then read this. Okay, so this is one I have to circle back to. If you saw my wrap-up video for last month, I think it was like my July wrap-up video, I was not in the mood for this. I was disappointed, and I was so excited to read it, and then yeah, so I have to reread. I'm gonna reread it after I read Blacktop Wasteland. Maybe I'll like it a little more. But S.A. Cosby can't disappoint. Also, another read it, Christ Held Up by Dorothy Lamar. If you're into learning more about theology and you have questions on religion that no one else thinks about or has talked about or really pushed the answer besides giving you, oh, just pray about it, we already know. No, study, show yourself approved, learn more. That's a good quick read. And also, shameless plug, my poetry book, Words of a Shattered Mind by Darnaya Darice, is on Amazon now. Listen, this is not where like, oh, this is a very first read. This is one that is dear to me because I first published it. This was not the original cover. I first published it in 2013. You're going to see different editions. That's why you'll see new publishing dates. But these were a collection of poems. It's really short. It's less than 66 pages, but it has some notes that you can write in the back. But these poems really were helping. It would help me flush out what I was dealing with, different sadness, healings, or things that I saw over time. And so if you look at my previous videos, I did a video where I read 3 of my poems that were in this book, so you can check that out. All right. We're hanging in there. You hanging in there? You all right? Okay, you all right? Ego Tripping by Nikki Giovanni. This is another poetry book. Of course, read it. Awesome. Rosa Parks, My Story, this is her autobiography. This is must read, especially again if you're into studying about history, learning more in our ancestors' own words. You understand that? In their own words, because they're going to give you more information, and they're going to, she, in that book, Rosa tackles misinformation that was put out. So you need to read it, because what you would learn in high school wasn't the real deal, okay? Interiors. I will always feature this book, always recommend, by Yana Van Zant, A Black Woman's Healing in Progress. This was so good. It's a thick one, but it's very good. Tina Knowles, Matriarch. Obviously, this is pretty thick. She has some pictures in here. This was pretty good. Loved it. So read it. Oh, y'all. I'm out. All these are read-its. The rest are read-its, just to be honest with you. So if you want the count, I had about 43 read-its and 20 toss-its. That's pretty good, okay? The good outweigh the bad, okay? Up From Slavery. Booker T. Washington. Read it. Okay. Read Rosa Parks, Booker, John Henry Clark, all of them. James Weldon Johnson. This is the autobiography of an ex-colored man. Read it. It's pretty short. Read it. Maya Angelou. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I love this cover. I love this edition. Normally you see the edition that has the brown. It's like black and orange or brown and orange. But I love this. Purple is my favorite color. Okay. Lavender. And when it comes to purple and pink, I just love those. So this is her first autobiography. A lot of you already probably know that. That was great. This is the second autobiography. Gathered Together in My Name. Anything Maya. Read it, please. Read it. Ida B. Wells. The Memphis Diary of Ida B. Wells. This was edited by Miriam DaCosta Willis. Read it. Ida was a trip, okay? I, Steve. This is a book that... This was edited by George Beam, and this is a mixture or a collection of his quotes, interview takes. It's like excerpts from his interviews and articles and things of that nature. Pretty good points here. And the narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass, obviously, is a read it. All right, so that's what I have for you. I have other books that are on my TBR that I may feature during the second half of 2025. But that was my read it or toss it. Let me know again in the chat. What have you read? What have you tossed? What have you DNF'd or you reread, came back to? And don't forget, if you're up for the challenge, do a video and tag me at Darnaya Darice so I know to watch it, love it, and share it. All right, until next time, always remember to keep rising.
I'm telling you that there ain't no other way. Pack your bags and then you will go away.